Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture of Quality and Reliability Engineering. I am Milan Trivedi, Assistant Professor at LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. We are going to continue with our chapter number 5, that is the contemporary trends. We are starting with a very fresh topic, that is the benchmarking. Benchmarking is basically defined as the process of measuring products or services and the process against those organizations which are considered as a market leader. Right, the companies which had already made a big reputation into the society, that kind of company, what they are actually doing, that we need to check, we need to gather the information, and according to that we need to try our best to make the product or services which we are giving according to them, right? So this is a kind of sort of competition with the already reputed name or the market leader, right? So which are the basic steps we need to do in order to get the benchmarking? The first thing which is involved, that is the planning. First of all, we need to prior engage in the benchmarking. We need to have the understanding that what does our competitor do. We need to identify the activity we actually need to benchmark, right? If I am a mobile manufacturer, then which is a big name in the mobile manufacturing company, that we need to see what is the process that they are doing, that we need to adopt, right? So the process part is the benchmarking, right? There can be a different activities in that entire process of manufacturing, but which thing you actually need to go for benchmarking, that you need to identify during the planning phase. The second thing is the collection of the information. Then we need to find out what exactly has been done, right? We need to gather that information, that the market leader, what they are actually doing, and what we are also doing for the better comparison. Third thing, that is the analysis of data. In that, we need to properly analyze that what is required to be done and what we are doing, right? Based on that gap, we need to take some corrective action, right, during the analysis of data. Fourth thing, that we need to implement the philosophy which is required in order to get that benchmarking. And last thing is the monitoring, right? We need to monitor all the activities. Once we are doing all that activity, the constant monitoring of all the activities also required to be done, right? The next thing we need to learn is a business process re-engineering. Coming to this business process re-engineering, the aim is to help the organization fundamentally rethink that how they do their business or work in order to improve the customer satisfaction or the customer service, just by cutting the operational cost and become a world-class competitors, right? That re-engineering word itself indicate we need to redefine certain values, right? So that the customer satisfaction can be improved. Now, what is the basic steps in order to get that business process re-engineering? The first thing is the define objective and the framework, right? The second thing, identify the customer need. Third thing, study the existing process. From the existing process, try to redesign a plan as per the need of the customer, and lastly, implement the redesign plan. Fine, then you can get your better customer satisfaction. Let us understand this business process re-engineering with the one case study. This case study is of Ford Motors. Now, this Ford Motors had identified that their account department is not that much efficient, although they are having a 500 people, whereas the Mazda, which is a competitive of the Ford Motors, is only having the 5 employees, right? Now, how they are actually managing that, they had studied. Now, based on that study, they need to rearrange or reframe that particular department. Now, in the old process of the Ford Motors, they identified that from the purchase department, from the material, from the vendors, they are getting a lot of input. Based on that, the work of account department is very large, right? Now, you can easily see that the account payable department is communicating with, taking input from 3 different things, this input arrows, and they are giving output to one particular person, right? Now, in the second model which they had implemented, account department is only required to be deal with one input, one output. So, lot of work of account department has been reduced, right? So, this is nothing but it is a business process re-engineering. Now, let us discuss about the Six Sigma. The concept of a Six Sigma is a set of techniques basically and the tools for process improvement. Now, in this sigma level, we are actually dealing about the different defects which is present per million, right? If we are saying that a company is having a 1 sigma, that it means out of 1 million components produced by the company, the defective components are 6,90,000. If the company is having a 2 sigma, it is said that the defect is 3,08,000 per million component. Likewise, if the company is producing 1 million component, then in the 6 sigma level, only 3.4 defects are being allowed, which can lead to the yield capacity of 99.99966%, right? The concept says that all of the industry need to adopt the 6 sigma concept, right? So that the defect quantity is reduced to a greater extent, right? This was invented by the Bill Smith when he was working at the Motorola in the year 1986. Motorola was the first company to implement the concept of 6 sigma. Now, how to implement that 6 sigma philosophy? In order to implement that 6 sigma, we need to adopt these two processes. The first one is a DMAC, that is define, measure, analyze, improve, control. About that we are already understood in our earlier lectures. And the second philosophy we need to adopt is a DMA DB, which means define, measure, analyze, design and verify, right? If we go for this two kind of approach, the DMA-DV is very much similar to the DMAC process, only here the changes in the design and verify. Means after analysis we are designing the system and then we are again verifying the system, right? If we are going up for this, then we can have a 6 sigma concept. Basically, the DMAC is focusing on the continuous improvement, that is Kaizen. About that also we had discussed earlier, and the DMA-DV focus on the re-engineering concept, which we have discussed right now, right? So if we are following that principles, we can get the 6 sigma, which means only 3.4 defects per million component, right? Now what is the scope where we can implement this 6 sigma concept? We can implement in any manufacturing process, in any service industries, in any hospitals, in insurance sector, in any call centers, we can implement the concept of 6 sigma. Coming to the advantages part, it increases the productivity, it increases the quality, it reduces the operational cost, it increases the customer satisfaction, improves the communication among team members. Coming to the disadvantage part, engineers and managers sometimes are not interested in mathematical statistics, because we are dealing with the mathematical figure that only 3.4 defects per million should be there, right? Some statistical model we need to adopt, right? So mathematical relations are not being understood by sometimes by the managers, and the challenges of having a quality data available, right? See, in order to implement these things, we need to have some past record, we need to analyze that data, we need to make some changes according to that past data or past experience. So sometimes some resistance may be shown by the workers also. Let us understand the 6 sigma with the help of one case study. Now this case study is very much famous, not in India itself but worldwide it is very much famous. This case study is from one service industry, that is a Mumbai Dabbawala. This Mumbai Dabbawala just delivering the tiffin to the Mumbaians, but they are famous for the 6 sigma because they are not having any defect or they are not giving any wrong delivery to the customer, right? And if the delivery is wrong, it is only 3.4 out of 1 million, right? The Mumbai Dabbawala deliver food every day from home to the workplace, and they do it with minimum technology, process or structure. Then also they are having 6 sigma. They become world renowned as a 6 sigma organization and is a part of study at Harvard University also, right? So that is a proud moment for India. That's why I had taken this case study. That's all for the today's lecture. Thanks.